Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, now we're going to start focusing on two things. First and foremost, the fight against corruption, the criminal justice aspect of this. But we're joined by Mr. Meke Zala. Thank you for coming on this morning. But let me start by asking your impression about what you may have read yesterday, images everywhere, the EFCC raiding the Lagos house, but now they're arguing who owns the house. From your impression about that kind of scenario, the stories you've seen, what do you think of this?
That tells us where we are today on corruption issues. We still have problem of proper investigation and proper conduct towards our fight against corruption. What roadmap do we have? You see, when you have a cancer, what do you first? You first diagnose and be sure it's cancer. And when it's cancer, you have a roadmap. What do you do? What cells do you attack? Now, look at what we have. Look at the mess. NIA said it's their money. And we don't know whether it's NIA's money. NIA is National Intelligence Agency. If it is their money, how come the EFCC did not know?
Why wasn't it in the bank?
Why wasn't, you may say, why was it, depending on what they are using it for? Why wasn't it in the bank? There are so many questions that begs for an answer. And that is why I said that there should be a roadmap in this fight against corruption. And the roadmap,
what would the roadmap be? Okay, I think that's where you're going.
Yes, and the roadmap should be, yes, we have corruption. What should be the approach? The first approach, I think, I had said earlier, is the government should look at the security agencies first. The searchlight should be on the security agencies. And how do you look at them? What do they require to do proper investigation? What type of system do you operate? Who are the stakeholders to fighting corruption? Now, people are out there. How much are you paying them as salaries? What is the insurance policy for them? Remember that this is a very serious matter. Somebody who has stolen, for instance, $100 million or $200 million, and you're busting him, he could kill. He could do a lot of things. So what is the security of those people? Now, the other day, a naval officer died. And some people said it's suicide. Some said no, something more than suicide will be involved. That he was involved in the investigation. He was in the panel investigating the arms deal, the arms probe. And some people said, why don't you look at that area too? Now, now he's gone, what will happen to his children? What will happen to the future of his dependents? So the roadmap should start with looking at the prosecutors, the investigators, looking at their salaries. If somebody is earning 50,000 or 100,000 naira, and you ask him to go and investigate somebody who has $100 million, $200 million, one, his life is in danger. The entire future of his family is in danger. There is no insurance for him. There is no security for him. Now, what will he do? The next thing he may do is to compromise what he's out to do. You go into the aspect of prosecution. That is, this is investigative aspect, arrest and investigation. Because remember that the investigation starts from the beginning. If you think of investigation, first thing is, where do you start the investigation? If somebody knows there is money somewhere there, the investigation aspect is to go, who owns this money, who owns this house? You would have gone somewhere to find out who owns the house.
Is it putting the cart ahead of the horse when monies like this are discovered and then all of a sudden names are being mentioned, investigation is not properly done? How do you see this kind of scenario, because it's playing out time and again?
These are also part of the, yes, it's just what you said. First is, if you have information there is such money, what stops you from sending detectives to wait, to be looking at that area to make sure it doesn't go out, for instance, for 3-4 days? Within the 2-3 days, you're able to find out who owns the house, who owns the money, how did the money come in there. You now enter. Take the money, especially having done the preliminary investigation. If it's a sister agency that owns it, like NIA, you find out from the NIA. Why is this money here? Why is it not in the bank? There's nothing wrong in getting to the head of the NIA. There's nothing wrong in getting to the presidency to find out why should that money be in that house. So that by the time you strike, you have most of your evidence. Not when you strike, somebody now says, oh, the money belongs to NIA, the money belongs to DSS, the money belongs to the judiciary. But you would have had this information, and you would have come to a preliminary conclusion that this money is on its way to being diverted.
What kind of this raises questions of integrity, really, for the investigating agency. How do you see this working in favor of the agencies carrying out these investigations, such that their credibility is not questioned?
And that is the planning aspect I'm talking about. If they plan it well, so that they don't just feed something to the public, which turns out to become a hoax, So, because once you send information to the public, and at the end you find out that information, you sent to the public was as a result of insufficient investigation, the confidence which the public will have on the agency will be going down. Well, maybe later when we talk about the series of cases that was thrown out from the courts, and we see what will it happen tomorrow. How does it operate on the mind of the people? How would they understand? How would they have confidence on what you're doing in corruption? Matters. Sometimes when we make mistakes, we tend to blame others. You make mistakes in the court throws out these things, and you say, oh, it's the judiciary. They have collected it's bribery. They have taken bribes, or they are siding with their own people, or they are doing this, they're destroying anti-corruption move. But the problem is, have you planned it well?
Well, it's a no-case submission for the case of Justice Ademola. Now, that has happened, and the agencies who took this, pushed this case forward,